November 8th was a historic day for the United States. We take a look at the impact the election had.
Also, we take an in-depth look at how some of the local races and ballots.
Start bringing out those heavier coats because it's cold out this morning with cooler temperatures on the way. Find out more coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome to a special election edition of Channel 8 News. From Manhattan, I'm Vanessa Vlasic.
And I'm Brittany Reed.
Manhattan citizens voted in support of raising sales tax for street maintenance. This increase will raise the city's sales tax to pay for street repairs. People can expect to see the increase on April 1st, while projects are scheduled to begin in 2018. This tax increase is projected to generate $2 million annually, with approximately $1.9 million going towards road repairs. In addition, around $100,000 will be going to the Safe Routes to School project. Mayor Usha Reddy says that she is pleased Manhattan voters supported this important local initiative.
This benefits our community in a big way, and this is also part of economic development. Whenever you want to attract businesses or retain businesses, you only get one chance to make that good first impression, and streets are it. If they think you have bumpy streets and it's not good for their cars, they're not going to be coming back. They're not going to want to move here.
K-State students and Manhattan community members from all ends of the political spectrum came together Tuesday night to watch the election results unfold in the Union Courtyard. Channel 8 News reporter Jennifer Edgar has the story.
K-State really is a family, and I think that we'll all come together around this.
Regardless of political affiliation, K-State students joined as a family to watch the election results, commemorate the night in the photo booth, and enjoy snacks and beverages.
Our main goal is just kind of to promote that we are a K-State family. We want people to be able to come together and take it seriously, but not so seriously that we get ourselves in a rut.
Seeing everybody come together, actually seeing this all come together to one, actually shows us coming together as a community and seeing how we all represent one another, how we need to come together when it comes to the end.
We ask K-State students what tonight's results mean for their future.
The Trump presidency to me is unpredictable, which could be either very good or very bad, and this unpredictability to me is kind of like something that we need to make sure that once the Republicans have the House and the Senate, because I'm a conservative, that they have to make sure he is tempered in some of his more flamboyant promises.
And we'll still continue to be America, and people will get over it and deal with the president that they have, and hopefully eventually accept it.
Other students are skeptical of what a Trump presidency means for their future.
I don't approve of some of the things he says, so I can't have someone who's running the country who might give away a lot of the opportunities that we do have, away, yeah.
Just don't want Trump to get it, because him is we're really not going to have really that many opportunities as being minorities to not overpower, but be equal to everybody else.
In Manhattan, I'm Jennifer Edgar with Channel 8 News.
Union Program Council is also hosting an 80s roller rave Friday the 11th at 7 p.m. at the Chester Peters Rec Complex. Free entry and skates with a K-State ID.
Riley County saw an approximate 62% turnout in registered voters from the general election on Tuesday. Riley County had 31 polling places across the county for people to vote. However, due to an early and absentee voting, lines to vote on Election Day were less crowded than previous years. This presidential election was the first that many millennials got to vote in. Because of the controversial nature of this election, voters had mixed feelings when leaving the polls.
I definitely think it is a very interesting election to be voting in for the very first time. Definitely not one that has been anything like the past. So it's definitely a very different experience, I feel like, from any other time I'll ever vote again.
It's exciting though, because I was debating, honestly, I was 50-50 if I should come and vote or not, but it's a constitutional right, so I figured I should exercise it. Don't want to waste it.
On Tuesday evening, the Riley County community elected Republican Ron Wells to serve as the county commissioner for District 3.
I'm here at the Riley County Republican headquarters where Ron Wells was able to beat out Democratic nominee Levi Smith to be re-elected for his third term as county commissioner.
Tuesday was a monumental night for the nation as a whole, but it was just as significant for a local community.
We fought very hard though, and I guess that's what makes the win really feel really great, because I did fight hard.
Democratic competitor Levi Smith waited anxiously for the results at Auntie Mae's in Aggieville Tuesday night. Although the votes didn't go Smith's way, Wells believes that we may see him on the ballot again in the future.
He still has plans to live here in Manhattan, Kansas, and I soon run again. And I told him this is my last term, and I wouldn't have any objection to him running again. I mean, like I say, he was a great person to talk to and visit with.
As a county commissioner, Wells is responsible for approving budgets, adopting personal policies, setting tax levies, and much more in District 3. In addition, he also takes on other roles such as legislator, public manager, and community leader. During the next 4 years, Wells has big plans for the community.
I've got a bill in the legislature that I testified on to collect delinquent taxes quicker. And what that'll do is we'll be able to lower our tax mill levy here in Raleigh County. Right now there's only 6 counties in Kansas that have a lower mill levy than we do, and I'd like to get it down to maybe 4 or 5.
Wells has enjoyed his time as commissioner and looks forward to continue doing so in his third and final term. I
figure that I have paid my dues to Raleigh County. I've enjoyed the job. I think I've been very effective. So I think I can be effective for 4 more years, and then it's time to leave.
In Manhattan, Grant Flanders, Channel 8 News.
In District 2, Marvin J. Rodriguez was elected as commissioner, beating out opponent Robert Boyd. According to the Pew Research Center, despite a higher percentage of eligible voters participating in this year's election, the total ballots cast dropped by over 1 million as compared to the previous general election because of an 8 million person increase in the total eligible voting population. The millennial vote was a major topic of controversy this election season. According to one exit poll, the millennial vote swung heavily in favor of Hillary Clinton, who outpaced Donald Trump in the 18 to 29-year-old voter category by 21 percentage points. Trump, however, led both the 45 to 64-year-old vote and the 65-plus vote by 11 points each. Finally, Donald Trump took the white vote, handily earning 58% of white vote compared to just 37% for Hillary Clinton. Clinton was favored by minority voters as black voters supported the Democratic candidate by an 80-point margin, while the Latino vote was 65% for Clinton with 29% of the vote for Donald Trump. In state news, every single one of the Kansas Supreme Court justices on the ballot were re-elected. And before we head to break, leave you with the winners of several local Riley County elections.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you.
In the game of political musical chairs, Jerry Moran again wins the seat in the U.S. Senate. Brittany Reed has more on the story.
Jerry Moran, a Kansas conservative, has been re-elected for senator for the 7th time. He ran against Democratic candidate Patrick Wisner and Libertarian Robert Girard. Moran gave a short acceptance speech at the Overland Park Marriott. It's definitely a party here at the Johnson County Republican Watch Party as Republicans celebrate Senator Moran's victory.
Well, I think he'll continue to support the Kansas values, and he'll represent us in the Senate in Washington, and I expect what he's given to us in the past. We need more good, strong, conservative Kansans in the office.
He's going to continue doing good things for the country. He's a very positive influence, and he's great for Kansas.
For the next 6 years, Moran will continue to fight for reduced spending, religious freedom, and the right to bear arms. In Overland Park, I'm Brittany Reed, Channel 8 News.
If you're interested in learning more information and his time served in the Senate, you can visit his website at the link on the screen.
The U.S. presidential election wasn't the only race this year to elect a candidate with no political background. Channel 8 News reporter Sophia Woodard reported in from Great Bend, Kansas, where Roger Marshall waited eagerly for the results for District 1's new congressman on November 8th.
This country has plenty of issues and challenges. I'm ready to go get to work on the economy. I'm ready to go work on national security. I'm ready to work on health care.
And ready to work for a change. Starting out in the primaries, Roger Marshall came out of nowhere, stealing the Republican nomination from Tim Huelskamp in the race to Congress. Huelskamp was the Tea Party favorite, serving in the Senate up until his 2010 election into Congress. Kansas has put their trust in a new congressman this year, however, District 1 electing a doctor, not only through the primaries, but as of November 8th, straight to the House of Representatives.
Feels great. I mean, the general was more of an easy race, but the primary was an upset. We weren't supposed to win, and so it feels really, it feels vindicating to be able to, say we started with a campaign that was here, and, now we have a new congressman.
Here in Great Bend, Kansas, Roger Marshall had a watch party with over 100 people. Surrounded by family, friends, and his campaign managers, they celebrated a victory. So just what brought this doctor into politics? Let's just say his wife, Lana Marshall, supported his decision.
We said, what are we going to be when we grow up? Are we leaving this country better than we found it? And when we had that discussion, it was no longer, we weren't happy with where our country was. And at that point in time, she said, you like to fix things. It's time to go to Washington. Go fix all the problems of this country.
With elections being over and Marshall's first 2 years in Congress beginning, many are hoping Washington will get a long-awaited improved bill of health. In Great Bend, Kansas, I'm Sophia Woodard for Channel 8 News.
Marshall's independent opponent, Alan LaPolice, earned 26% of Kansas's vote with over 66,000 total votes. LaPolice based his campaign platform on leadership, farms, and family. He focused on issues like reconstructing taxes, creating programs to veteran health care, and agriculture growth. LaPolice came up about 100,000 votes shy of defeating Marshall for the first congregational district seat.
I believe that everybody in our nation feels that the political process must change. Everyone knows that if we can't change our political system, it will collapse under its own weight. And this campaign was supposed to be an effort at that. I hope that people don't give up on the political process. I hope that they still believe that they can be that change that's so desperately needed.
LaPolice indicates that he will not be running in any foreseeable future elections. Although the election was the center of attention the past few days, there was plenty of other newsworthy events going on in the area.
And all of your sports updates from the past week and what to expect from the weather coming up next on Channel 8.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
Our community is more than a group of people. It's a place where the golden rule becomes the purple rule. It's recognizing the value of every individual and affirming the importance of diversity. It's freedom to have a different perspective. It's honesty underscored with understanding. It's becoming a piece of the greater good. We are many, we are one. Most of all, we are family. What defines the K-State community? Compassion, honesty, you. Open doors, warm hellos, classes spark ideas, traditions create memories, labs lead to partners, late nights, crazy nights. Hail, hail, hail? Studying hard, hardly studying. One last Manhattan sunset, caps and gowns, pomp and circumstance. We're on this journey together, remembering that every open door can lead to a warm hello. What is the K-State experience? Family, pride, you.
Why I Give Week is a KSU Student Foundation week-long event at Bosco Plaza each day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., encouraging students to discover the importance of philanthropy at K-State. Reporter Tony Canizero has more information about Why I Give Week.
Monday's theme is Treasure, where people can come to the quad during Why I Give Week and see just how many students benefit from philanthropic scholarships at K-State. You're able to check the column displays around campus, which shows how philanthropy supports K-State's budget, along with banners across buildings supported by private gifts. On Tuesday, KSU Student Foundation set up a table at Bosco Student Plaza to help give thanks to faculty and staff for the work they have done on campus. For each thank you note you write, you receive a treat. KSU Student Foundation Vice President of Outreach, Carolina Mack, provides us information about Why I Give Week.
Why I Give Week is a week that we are using to just encourage students to be philanthropic and to give thanks for different opportunities that have gotten them to where they are today. 34% of K-State's budget comes from philanthropic donations, and so it's really just important that we recognize that as students and we thank people for it.
Wednesday's theme is Talent, where the KSU Student Foundation features information on endowed faculty or faculty that have the opportunity to do great work at K-State because of philanthropy. On Thursday, the focus is set on donating time. There is a table where people can give their own time to support a mini service project. The KSU Student Foundation will be assembling care packages for veterans and soldiers in honor of Veterans Day and those in Fort Riley in conjunction with USO. There will be a panel of K-State donors in Town Hall in the Staley School of Leadership Studies at 5:15 p.m. KSU Student Foundation member Tracy Tebow gives us some more information on the purpose behind Why I Give Week.
Why I Give Week is basically focused on spreading a culture of philanthropy across K-State. So we can appreciate the donors that are giving right now, but also encourage students to, when they look back at their K-State experience, 20 years from now, they'll be willing to give back to all those organizations, to those colleges that supported them as well.
Friday is available for students to tell the KSU Student Foundation why you give your own time, treasure, and talent. At the Foundation's table, there will be whiteboard testimonies where people are able to say where, why, and how they give to the causes they care about. Bosco Student Plaza, Tony Canizero, Channel 8 News.
34% of the 2015-2016 budget came from outside donation to the K-State Foundation.
Things are heating up here on campus, but the temperatures are falling.
That's right, Vanessa. Let's send it over to weather anchor Rachel Tucker for the latest on the weather.
Thanks, guys. It's finally starting to look like fall as we're seeing cooler temperatures across the board. It's down to 48 degrees in Seattle and 67 in California, and that's warmer, but it's still cooler than most in the Los Angeles area are used to. So moving into the Midwest, we're seeing around in the 50s, 51 in Chicago, 52 in Kansas City, and even cooler in the New York areas, 47. So the national map, we're seeing cloudy skies in Seattle, not terribly uncommon, partly cloudy in California. It's going to be pretty sunny in Kansas, as well as the Chicago area, and partly cloudy in New York and sunny in Florida. And to the Kansas map, in western Kansas, we're seeing 47 degrees, and that's pretty common across the map. We're seeing 40s, and the high is 50 in the Wichita area. So the 5-day forecast, the high of 72 today with a low of 45, and then dropping to 60 and 58 with lows in the 30s. So if you're going to the Veterans Day Parade, make sure you bundle up, and we're going to send it back to the desk. Brittany?
Vanessa, have you been as preoccupied as I have and too busy to keep up with your K-State sports?
You know, unfortunately, it's been a bit crazy around here. Luckily for us, the sports team here at Channel 8 has all we need after the break.
Oh man, you know, the fans, you know, Manhattan, you know, Octagon is doing, it's a tough place to play, you know, we feed off the energy.
Better get ready, because here come the Wildcats.
Wiesman, does she hit a fourth? Oh my goodness, in the zone!
Lewis running the floor, catches, spins, and scores. How about that footwork? K-State have won in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
The heart-pounding roar, a sea of purple, wielding twists and turns, a sincere smile, a simple phrase. Legacies that span generations, blurring the line between fans and family. Believing we bleed a different color. Foundations defined by a single stone. That special place you love full well. What makes traditions unforgettable? Loyalty. Purple. You.
The change in weather means the beginning of some new seasons.
Let's send it over to sports anchor Hannah Wirtz for the latest.
Thanks, Brittany. This past Saturday, K-State football faced Oklahoma State in a game that went down to the final seconds. The Wildcats had success running the ball, ending up with a total of 345 rushing yards. Jesse Ertz led the Wildcats rushing with 153 yards. K-State also forced 3 turnovers, including Duke Shelley's 29-yard interception return for a touchdown. Despite leading for most of the game, K-State gave up 15 points in the fourth quarter and were unable to come back and score in the final seconds, losing 43-37. Going into a bye week, the Wildcats are 5-4 overall and 3-3 in Big 12 play. Bill Snyder and the Wildcats take on Baylor November 19th in Waco. K-State's women's basketball team won 100-33 against Newman at home on November 7th, closing out their final game of the preseason exhibition. While senior Kindred Wiesman led the way with 21 points and 9 assists, each of the 8 Wildcats that got on the court marked at least 4 points, pulling in a victory as a team. The first game of the season is Friday, November 11th against Chicago State here at home at 5:30. K-State's men basketball won their last exhibition game against Washburn 73-58 on November 4th. Senior Wesley Awandu dominated, scoring 21 points in the 31 minutes he was in, also pulling in 11 rebounds. Barry Brown scored 15 points during the time in, the two spending the most time on the court and pulling the most points for the team as the Wildcats pulled ahead in the first half, successfully keeping that lead in the second half. The men's basketball game is against Western Illinois. A panel of Olympians were at K-State to talk with students. Channel 8 reporter Lisa Olberdine was there.
On Thursday evening, students and members of the community gathered at the Leadership Studies building to hear from a panel of current and former K-State Olympic athletes. The panelists included Eric Kennard, Thane Baker, Akila Jones, and Ed Brocksterman. Former K-State track and field athlete and current ESPN commentator Jill Montgomery moderated the open forum. The panel was titled Being Fearless and focused on how to live a successful life. Even though it's their athletic abilities that these Olympians are known for, it's their insight into how they overcame their fears that they want students to take away from this panel today. Brian Dieters brought his daughter, a high school high jumper, so she can learn from some of the best.
Every one of them had some really good advice to young men or women, especially how to get through life, how to handle being an elite athlete. I just thought there was some really good advice, really good motivation.
Event organizer Gwen Wentland McKinsky hopes that everyone of all ages who attended got something from the panel.
I hope that people left the room inspired. I hope that they left the room understanding how much hard work and dedication that it takes to become the best at anything that you're involved in.
There are 2 more events left in this Olympic series. Another panel on February 3rd and Jackie Joyner-Kersey's Dare to Dream lecture on March 16th. In Manhattan, I'm Lisa Oberding, Channel 8 News.
That's all for sports this week. Be sure to go out and support the Cats at home November 11th for men and women's basketball. Now back to Vanessa and Brittany.
Don't go anywhere. We have more news for you here on Channel 8.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Our community is more than a group of people. It's a place where the golden rule becomes the purple rule. It's recognizing the value of every individual and affirming the importance of diversity. It's freedom to have a different perspective. It's honesty underscored with understanding. It's becoming a piece of the greater good. We are many, we are one. Most of all, we are family. What defines the K-State community? Compassion, honesty, you. Open doors, warm hellos, classes spark ideas, traditions create memories, labs lead to partners, late nights, crazy nights. Hail, hail, hail? Studying hard, hardly studying. One last Manhattan sunset, caps and gowns, pomp and circumstance. We're on this journey together, remembering that every open door can lead to a warm hello. What is the K-State experience? Family, pride, you.
Thanks for watching this special election edition here of Channel 8 News. So, Brittany, are you doing anything for the game or there is no game this weekend. It's bye,
No.
so...
It's
I don't know what I'm going to do
away
with my
game.
weekend, so hopefully we
know.
find something to do.
All right, have a great day.
This is Channel 8 News.